everybody. Thank you for coming today. My name is Marcio, and today I will be talking about the use of a needle exchange program for drug users who use IV injector drugs, and why it is a really good program in order to prevent STI transmission as well as protect people from infections from using an already used needles. Now, I want to start by talking about a study that was done on methamphetamine drug users, and this study was conducted on 452 people who admitted to using methamphetamine as an IV injection, and out of those, 20 of them right there admitted to having an STI for the past 60 days or earlier than that. And now what we can learn from this is that there are people who are engaging in risky behaviors for HIV transmission as well as any STI transmission, and also use drugs. If they don't have a clean needle, they might be using it, sharing it among themselves, so which is also sharing a disease amongst themselves. So the reason why this needle exchange program is really important is because we need to prevent, if we can't stop the addiction, we can at least help them prevent themselves from infections as well as transmitting really bad diseases. Now, just methamphetamine users in the United States, there are about 529,000 people who are 12 years old and older who use methamphetamine. And the study that I talked about above also indicated that the people who were in the study admitted to having used other drugs like heroin, cocaine, or marijuana, as well as involving in risky behaviors such as being active in unprotected sex, or not being tested for STIs before they do so. So I've also looked into the CDC website, which is the Disease Control Center for the United States, and they did a study which indicated that in just 2008, about 3.8 million persons who were 12 years old and older admitted to having used heroin at least once in their lifetime. So this is a really big problem in the United States. So I want to talk about three main points. So my first point will be that the fact that these people who are using drugs are usually in a low socioeconomic status, so they don't really have too much money to go get clean needles. And my second point will be that if this program is legal, we can help people come to get help and come to get clean needles so that they don't get diseases from it. And my third point will be to make sure that if we just leave them alone, we need to know that this is not just affecting drug users. This is affecting people who are also living with the drug users, or who is also a partner of drug users. So this is not just an addict's problem. So let's look at who are the people who are using these drugs. People who are using these drugs in the study that I just talked about shows that 24% of them were homeless, so they don't even have a place to stay, so they won't have the resources to get new needles every day. And they've also admitted to using other drugs. So this is not just a one drug problem, so they usually probably share it among themselves, especially if they're homeless. They've also admitted to having been involved in risky behaviors, or being involved in an unprotected relationships with other people, which might be putting them at risk for HIV infections or like TB or any bloodborne diseases, really. And the study I found in a CDC website also mentions that from 1997 to 2002, there were about 400,000 people who died of drug overuse. So these are not people who are just using it for recreation. These are people who are dependent on it, really addicted to it. So that's why they use it via IV. So we need to give them a safe place to go to. So, 400,000 people dying just of drug overuse is really bad outcome for substance abuse disorder. Now, let's talk about how having this legal program to exchange needles and how it would help people who are already addicted to this drug. Now, a study that I mentioned above also talked about the demographics. Those people included white people, African Americans, Asians, Latinos. It is everybody's problem who is above 12 years of age. And so most of them also admitted to having a felony background. So these are already criminal people. They also don't have a place to go. So they need a safer place that they can go to get these drugs because they're addicted depending on them. And so having this be legal gives them an opportunity to go seek help rather than criminalize it. So when they do have these programs, when they know about it, they would go to get help rather than stay away from it and keep using and sharing needles among themselves, as well as sharing diseases, because that's what happens when people don't use clean needles every time that they use. And these people are addicted so that they use it all the time. And so by making it legal and open to the public, this is inviting people who have the problem to come and get help and to come and get a preventive method of using the drug, even though that is bad, but this is one way of preventing the disease from spreading to other people. Now, the third point that I mentioned above is our fear of what if we just leave them be. What happens if we just leave them be is that they will continue to share the drug because they're addicted and they won't seek help. So they would have this community where they're just sharing needles and diseases and basically just spreading from there to the people who they live with, to their sexual partners, so to the children that they are around. So pretty much anyone who is in close contact with people who are possibly, infected, possibly by HIV or TB or any bloodborne disease that can transmit from the needle, or even just infection from using, a dirty needle or a used needle, is at risk from getting that disease. So we're not just trying to protect the people who are already using, we're also trying to protect the people who might be coming in close contact, because they will also be affected by this issue. So um, that's what happens if we just leave them be, and if we help them, we will invite people to get help as well as protect people from getting infected. And so, in conclusion, I want to say that there is an argument that if we keep giving them, equipments to use the drug, it might be enabling them, it might, encouraging them to go, here you go, use it. But if we don't, there is already an epidemic, there's already a problem, and that's already established. And so if we don't intervene or give them a solution to stop at least one part of the problem, which is, the disease transmission, HIV prevention part of it, we're just letting the problem get out of hand. So this is one way of controlling it. Now I want to read a quote from the Institute of Drug Abuse website, which says that the syringe exchange program connects the population of injection drug users with healthcare, providing HIV screening, treatment, counseling, and importantly, providing an opportunity for reaching out to people with addictions and encouraging in substance abuse disorder treatments. So this is a wholesome program that would provide them with pretty much everything that they need should they want to get out. At the same time, it would also be giving them a chance to stop spreading disease or to stop them from getting disease from somebody else's. And so it is a problem, just the drug epidemic is a problem, the substance abuse is a problem, but this clean needle exchange program will be one way of providing them a solution. Thank you for listening. Go to the CDC website to find more information.